Hey there, Soul Tribe. It is intuitive energy guide, clairvoyant, and source energy channel Kathy Weiss here. Happy New Year! It's January 6th. I did say Happy New Year last week, but it was still technically December when we met up. So I'm saying Happy New Year to you again, and I'm coming to you live from my reading room here on the Central Coast of California. And we're going to start off today talking about why I'm saying Happy New Year and what the heck is going on with the energy of the new year. And then I have this really amazing channeled message for you. It's like 2 pages long. It's super juicy, super full of love from the universe. And I'm like so like ridiculously excited for everything that's going on. So as you are watching, if you've got questions or comments, or you even just want to like let me know you're here with a little shout out, you can drop those in the comments down there. Let's start off by talking about open portal energy, or what the heck that even means. So here we are, 6 days into 2020. We are still in the energy of the new year. Hey, Lori, nice to see you, sister. I'm giving you a little virtual high five right there. Okay, energy of the new year. You do not have to make resolutions or set goals or intentions or have a guiding word at the beginning of a year. We are all very intelligent human beings, and we know that we can do that at any time, whenever it suits you. Here's the thing though, there is an energy that rises at the beginning of the new year that is conducive to re-examining where the previous year took us and where we'd like to go moving forward in the new year. And it's not just one day, it's not like December 31st, January 1st, and that's it. We have this beautiful open window. So the energy that's going on for the new year is gold. And this is a repeat from last week, but the channeled message isn't. So hang in there with me, especially if this idea of an open window is new to you. So I'm feeling like the energy conducive to really focusing on the gold energy. Gold energy, have it represented here with abundance. And abundance is not just money abundance, although that is absolutely a facet of abundance. It's also health, wealth, wisdom, life experiences. It's all the good, positive things you can have an abundance of. That is represented with gold. So is joy. Joy feels like moments of clarity. Joy feels timeless. Joy feels like that rising fizzy, bubbly sensation inside. It expresses itself through different physical sensations, but it's also represented by gold, as is things like prosperity and wealth. And this wealth, I am talking about material, monetary wealth, and that is a good thing. So this energy is wide open, and you're being asked to do, if you haven't already, or maybe to step back and re-examine if you have, is what are the deliberate physical things you can do in your life to create abundance, joy, prosperity, and wealth. The law of attraction, or the law of manifestation, 100% works, but it is not quite what some of us wish it was, even for me. We can't just slap something up on our vision board, wave some sage or some pixie dust or whatever it is on top of it, and think things are going to land right in our lap. That's only one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is you have to take action. You've got to take steps forward in that direction of the things that you desire to manifest: the abundance, the joy, the clarity, the prosperity, the wealth. So maybe we sit back or step back and look at what we want to achieve and line up some of those like real world action steps to allow this to happen in 2020. And the open portal energy for the new year is definitely going to flow through the full moon coming up on the 10th for the vast majority of us. And then for a handful of us, it's going to trickle into that following week of January as well. But just know that the overriding theme for the year is gold. So like bust out your gold jewelry, bust out your gold nail polish, whatever, your underwear, like I do not care, but like really invite that in and know that the prosperity and the joy and the wealth is all available to you, but you've got to claim it. You've got to say what it is, and you've got to say what you're willing to do to invite it into your life. Okay, I'm hearing that that is enough information for now. And if you have more questions or you need help and assistance on crafting that for yourself, that's when you reach out to myself or another guide or healer that you really resonate with and have us hold your hand or help us walk you along that path. My job as an intuitive and a clairvoyant is to hear the energy that is trying to come through for you when for whatever reason you can't hear it, and to help you really see the path you're meant to be walking on, and I help you understand the action steps you need to take. And super cool, I'm going to say this now before I forget, if you book any type of intuitive reading with me that's private, so a private mini, a clarity session, or an alignment package session, you get a bonus spirit animal for the year. So if you want to know what spirit animal energy is supporting you for 2020, make sure that you book a session during the month of January for that extra bonus spirit animal. Okay. But let's get into today's channeled message. So as a source energy channel, what I do is I plug into or tap into or download. People use different descriptions. For me, I feel like I'm tuning into the channel of the collective energy and what it is that the universe is wanting for us to know and hear and understand in our lives. And it's collective. It's for anybody who's listening or watching and hears the message, as opposed to private messages, which are meant for an individual. And I do tap into both types of energy. This channel message is a little bit longer than what we've had recently, and it's about freedom, and it's about the fear that many of us face when we are considering what freedom looks, feels, and sounds like for us. So as I get into the channeled message, if it's resonating with you, or if there's a part that makes sense, or there's a part that doesn't make sense and you want clarified, use the comments or give me a little like or a heart or something like that so that I know you're with me and it's making sense or not, and we need more info. Here comes the channeled message. You'll see me looking down at my notebook, but I'm right here with you and checking in, okay? It says, freedom is fearful because most of you cannot truly face the vast, limitless potential of this. Too hard you try to emulate others, to follow in the footsteps of those you perceive to be successful. Too afraid you are of making your own unique way that you choose to box yourself into a predictable, safe sanctuary of unchanged boredom or doldrums. Your perfectly designed life is encoded within you. I'm taking a pause. I almost want one of you to remind me why, when I got to the word boredom and doldrums, I felt like teary-eyed and sad for you. Okay, like somebody remind me. Your perfectly designed life is encoded within you. Your dream life lies within your heart. You must stop listening to and copying or imitating those who come before you, for that is their way, not yours. All you need for your success lies within. You must trust, like big letters, trust, and only seek guidance when you struggle to hear our song in your heart, or the way has become clouded by your confused energy and head brain. We have healers like Kathy for you to clear the path and open your eyes to it in deep soul affirming ways. But you, my love, our love, must trust and choose to boldly walk along a path that is yours and yours alone. Getting teary-eyed again. Somebody remind me, I'm going to explain that. We guide you with human help. I'm going to repeat. We guide you with human helpers and when you need it. Freedom lies ahead when you choose and acknowledge that it will never, not ever, look like anything anyone has ever done before because it is yours. We love you deeply. Go in peace. Ask for the help that is needed before that help runs out and is no longer available to you. We love you deeply. This message is complete. Amen. Okay, we just let that sink in for a minute. There's a lot of super juicy stuff. But like I said a couple times, I could feel your energy rising in response to the words, and it was like a teary-eyed sadness. The first was when I read the sentence that says, "You've boxed yourself into a predictable, safe sanctuary of unchanged boredom and doldrums," and I could just feel tears pricking in my eyes because the world has in many ways become so overwhelming with opportunity and choices that many of us get overwhelmed by it. And so we stay in a job. Look, oh, you see me getting warm. I'm landing on something because I'm heating up. So we choose to just kind of go with like the day to day. I like think of it like hamster wheel, like same thing every day. And it gets really boring, but we're afraid to get out of that into the freedom of our own expression because we're lost in that noise of those that have come before us. Okay. And the other place where I felt that come up is that where it says, you must choose to boldly walk along a path that is yours and yours alone. That feels really scary. Even as I say it, I can feel your fear. And behind that fear is sadness because you feel like lonely and you feel lost and you feel like, how can I ever walk a path that is mine and mine alone? Like it's terrifying. So the next sentence says, we guide you with human helpers, and your spirit guides help you. So while you're walking this path alone, there are people and there are spirit guides that will be by your side, but it's your path they're by your side on. Does that make sense? You have to define, here it is. You have to define the path in order to allow those who love and support you to walk alongside you on that path. But they can't create the path for you and they can't define the path, and they definitely can't do it for you, but they can do it with you. And that's like what I'm here for. If you can't find someone, or you don't know who to talk to, or you don't know someone who, when you like give some audacious path that isn't going to be like, I am so on board with that, I am walking alongside you, I'm here for you. And I use that word audacious. I was just in a session this morning with a client, and I agree that the goals she's setting for herself for the next 2 years are audacious compared to what other people might select for their lives. And I was like, I'm going to guide you there, and I'm going to stitch your energy together with that goal. And like, yes, I'm walking it with you to the very end. That's what this means. You've got to decide that path and walk it, whether it's big and audacious or ordinary. I'm also working with a client that we decided like life can just be ordinary for a while. Life does not have to be extraordinary. You don't have to have audacious goals. What you have to have is the song that's in your heart, and to choose to listen to and follow that song in your heart. When you can't hear it, when you're clouding it with confusion, that's when you bring in help. That's when you bring in an intuitive and a clairvoyant like myself to help you get that soul affirmation about the path, and to have someone who will happily and joyfully walk along the path with you and by your side and cheer you on and pick you up when you stumble. Like, that is my gift and my calling, and I would love to do that for you. And I would love to throw down your bonus spirit animal for 2020. So again, like if you book any kind of intuitive energy reading with me in January, you're going to get your spirit animal for the year. What we're going to do right now, though, is follow up the messages with a Mother Mary Oracle card. Oracle cards, not fortune tellers, but they are really beautiful tools that help us tap into wisdom, that help us hear the messages in a different way, to kind of get us out of our regular way of thinking and look about our life situation in a new light or a different perspective. And I chose Mother Mary today because of all the decks I have. Number one, it is truly my favorite. And number two, it has a really divine, highly aligned energy. It's very aligned with source energy. And the messages that accompany this deck, I feel are very much source energy messages. And that's what we needed to help us soothe the fear of freedom, the fear of like boldly living our life exactly the way we're meant to and not emulate or copy or imitate others, which is scary and hard. Mhm. So, when you work with me one-on-one privately, you get to tell me where in the deck your card is, and I'm just kind of looking at all these beautiful natural breaks and being like, oh my gosh, there's like so many to choose from. But I think I'm feeling most called to the one that is down here at the bottom. So the card that's supporting us today is Our Lady of Answered Prayers. Oh, I love this card. Lori said 1/3 down, and I went for like 1/3 up. Lori, sorry. Next time, sister. Okay, number one, again, when I get super warm, I am like way so channeling source energy. It's ridiculous. But Our Lady of Answered Prayers. Here's the first thing that came up for me today. I know, I'll get you. I want to go back to the gold. Woo! Almost dropped one. I want to go back to the gold energy. Abundance, joy, prosperity, and wealth. In order for your prayers to be answered, you have to utter them. You have to create them with as much specificity as you can. The universe will deliver everything you want, desire, need, and more, but you got to define what that is because it is different for every person. So you can pray daily, weekly, monthly, like however it resonates for you. I like to do my prayer. This is just my personal suggestion. I like to do my prayers in a journal where I write them down because if we're just thinking our prayers, it can be tangled up in there and it can lack clarity. You can also pray out loud, which also helps to create clarity of thought and of word, which helps the prayers get answered. Then you got to get quiet. And that's what meditation is to me. Prayer is the asking and the talking from me. And meditation is the listening and the hearing and the receiving from source. And that's going to help with the whole freedom thing too. If you can't even imagine what freedom would feel, look, or sound like in your life, you've got to move into a place that's quiet. And I'm hearing be careful with the word got. It's like a should. You know what? You have free will. You can choose to do that or not. I'm merely recommending that a way to understand what freedom would look like in your life is to get quiet enough that you can hear what's in your heart. Peeking into the guidebook for Our Lady of Answered Prayers, lots of info here. I'm just going to grab the one or two relevant pieces of information for today's messages. It says this oracle brings a profound message of peace and that your prayers are being answered now. Feeling the relief of this realization can help the answer reach us more quickly. I'm 100% on board, guys, that anytime you feel relief, it is energetically rising. It's elevating you up towards the highest good. A soft, receptive heart, rather than a heart hardened by fear or expectation of disappointment, can be touched by the divine more easily, and answers always come. The word trust is lighting up in my mind really loud and clear. And I get it. We live in a world of immediacy where trust is challenged when the answer is not immediate. God love Google and my phone. I just used it today in a client session. I was like, let's find that information really quick. Man, that's awesome. However, when we're waiting for our prayers to be answered, when we're waiting to manifest the abundance and the joy and the prosperity and the wealth, and there isn't that immediacy, it can be so easy to quickly jump into disappointment, which then leads to the fear of freedom and the lack of trust that everything is unfolding for us in a divine and beautiful way. So I'm going to leave you with this message that your prayers are being answered, and if you can allow them to be answered slowly rather than Google-y-ish, you'll find so much more relief, peace, and softness in your heart. Lori is buying a house. Congratulations on buying a house. Yeah, and super stressed out, and there are helpers showing up, right? And that is like, that could be such a gorgeous metaphor for all of the messages. Thank you for sharing that, Lori, right? Lori is paving the path of buying a home for herself. The helpers are there to guide her along the way, but ultimately that's her path that she's walking on. And that's her path to a form of freedom, because then she's the freedom to choose that specific home that she wants to purchase. And there's like so much more we could say about that, but I'm hearing you guys really get the gist of it, and that we're good, and that today's messages are complete. And there is just so much divine love flowing through for you guys right now, in all of this. And know that I am right here for you and with you. And whenever you need guidance or support to help you find joy and clarity and direction, shoot me a private message. Come see me online at kathy-weiss.com. And I would be absolutely more than delighted and thrilled to be the person that walks alongside you along your unique path when you need a little bit of guidance and support. You're awesome. I love you. Thanks for being here. I will see you again next Monday for your weekly energy reading. Have a gorgeous day, y'all. I love you. Namaste. Bye, everybody.